Okay, let's go ahead and get started on this. Some of the materials that you're going to want to have is you're going to want some E6000 handy. I've got some flat back pearls and some rhinestones. These are all clear rhinestones that my friend Robin sent me. And I've got some various laces and pieces of lace. I've got those. I have this lace, which is, this is definitely the last piece of this that I have that I may or may not use. I'm not sure about this one yet because it is sort of a different pink, although it goes nicely with that. I've got some ruffle trim. It's an organza ruffle. I've got a piece of lace that I cut off of a strip of lace that I have. This is a stretchy lace. And it's not cut perfectly, you guys. Absolutely not. And I'm not too worried about that because there will be something going over the lace at the top and bottom. So I'm not worried about that. And I've got this lace, which is absolutely gorgeous, and I love it, and I've been wanting to use it. And this, I believe I got this from Sherry a little while back, and I've been kind of waiting to use it, and I thought this was a perfect project. Now, here's the thing. I'm praying that this is okay. This tree was on the card that Kerith sent me when she sent me my latest package. Look at this tree. It's a little kind of a 3D like tree. These little flowers are placed, you know, at different levels, and the tree trunk and everything, it's doubled. And so I very carefully cut this out of the card. And Kerith, I sure hope this is okay with you. I prayed on it, and I said, I thought, okay, knowing what I'm going to do, she'll be okay with this. In the end, this project is for myself. I'm going to be keeping this project. This poem is one that Kerith wrote to me. She writes her own poetry, and it's absolutely beautiful. And what I want to do is I want to take this piece when it's finished, and I'm going to make a bit of a shadow box, if you will. I'm going to have Jeff make me one if I don't have one already. I may have one that I haven't used, but that's what I want. I want a shadow box, and I'm going to put this in the shadow box, and I'm going to put this poem in the shadow box. And I also have the other side of the card where she wrote her note to me, which will go on the back side of the shadow box, because I want to keep her note because it was absolutely beautiful and thoughtful. And she is just the sweetest, kindest lady, you guys. Oh my goodness. I'm so lucky to have such a great friend in Kerith, and she's done so many wonderfully sweet things for me. And I wanted this because I want to keep it always, and this is a way that I know I can keep everything safe and together, and I can always keep it, and it will be mine for eternity. So that's what's going to happen. So this is the poem that she wrote to me. Let me go ahead. I read it in one of my other videos, but I'm going to go ahead and read it again to you guys. It says, "How many times have I been here before, static and frozen at the edge of the shore, standing on the precipice, and shifting my weight, but never moving." Precipice. Okay. I said that all wrong, but standing on the precipice and shifting my weight, but never moving an inch toward uncertain fate. Weightless I'll drift, never sensing the fall, or carry the world as I clamber and crawl. No promise of peace or resolution in kind at the end of the road or the top of the climb. Lying still in the hope of asylum or dorm, but assailed by the elements and winds of the storm. The path that is paved with formidable force is the one I must follow to steady my course. Neither a pull forward or a reluctant step back, a simple moment of clarity to keep me on track. Shifting my gaze away from the shadow and sorrow, I move towards the sun and uncertain tomorrow. Is that beautiful, you guys? I just love this. It made me cry, and I keep reading it and reading it and reading it. And I just think it's the most beautiful thing, and it moved me when I read it the first time, and it moves me every time I read it. So I had to do something to make this stay around forever and be something that I could see always and read always and remember, just remember those words. So at some point I'll have this all memorized. Until I get to the point where I have no memory anymore. And that may be coming soon. But anyway, this is what I wanted to do. And Kerith, I hope it's okay with you. I am almost certain it will be. And hopefully you'll feel happy when you know why I'm doing it and what I'm doing. So I just saw something where I wanted to cut. Where was it? I think it was right here. So I had to go ahead and do it. I just had to. And I was so careful in cutting this out and trying to get all of these little corners and things just right in place, and so that I didn't mess anything up. I'm just trying to get this little corner piece out of here, because I missed it. And I think that is probably good. I may find a spot or two, and I did realize this is a spot that I was going to come back to because it was a hard one to get into, and I found my little, I did this all with a big pair of scissors, you guys, but I found my little detail scissors now, so I'm able to cut this little piece out. I'm glad I thought of that before I put this all down. So there we go. And so I did cut around the little flowers and things that were on the background of this, because I wanted everything to kind of fall into place and look like it did on the card, but I didn't want to cut it so close to like these that I ruined the way that it's supposed to look. So right now I'm just taking a couple of spots where I see they have kind of like sharp corners that I don't really want, that make it look kind of too square. And I don't want it to look square. I want it to look like it's supposed to look. And I want to get all of these flowers looking like flowers. Okay, so I think I'm not super pleased with the way that looks, so I am going to take that and cut around it, and I'm going to round that piece off. And I do see a couple of spots where I would like to get in a little bit tighter with my angle cuts. And now that I've got these great detail scissors, I can do this with ease. Okay. So let me just look it over, look it over, look it over. And I think I'm going to try and get in here with this little cut here. And this is where you want to get in and you want to do Your last minute details before you put everything together, because you want it to look the way you want it to look. And if you do these things, you're going to be much happier in the end that you did, because your piece is going to look amazing. And there's just a couple of little spots here where I feel like with these scissors I can absolutely get in there a little bit more detailed and make it look even better. I mean, it looks pretty good the way it is. It really does. I think I did pretty darn good, especially with the fact that I used a huge pair of scissors to cut all around this in the first place. So I feel pretty good about it. There we go. Okay, so you guys, that looks pretty darn good, doesn't it? There's one right there. Because the thing is you can look at this so hard and you're always going to find little spots like, oh my gosh, I should have gotten that one. And that's okay. You know, everything's not going to be absolutely perfect. Like I say, perfectly imperfect is okay by me. And here I can get in just a little closer. But I want that light pink to show behind that trunk as well. I don't want it to just be, you know, the single layer of the dark pink tree trunk. I want the light pink to show as well. So, so I'm making sure to leave that extra on the outside because I definitely want it there. Okay, so we're all set there. This I'm going to put aside and I'm going to put it in her box with all the other stuff she sent me so that it stays safe. I mean, look at this box that she sent everything to me in. Isn't that precious? It's beautiful. She bought this box. Or maybe she had it, I don't know, and that's okay either way. But I can't believe she put it in such a beautiful box. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Anyway, and then it fit perfectly. Now, originally, I was going to do this video today, but originally this video was going to have this on the inside of this plaque. And I was going to do kind of the same stuff around it. And then I looked at this card and it struck me, you guys. It just struck me and I had to do it with this. I just had to use the tree. It just, look at that. I mean, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And I'd like to have something, I wish I had something that says love that I could put somewhere on here, or friendship or something like that. And I may find something in the end, but for now, we're gonna do this the way that we planned. So the one thing that I was gonna do is I was gonna put this piece of lace on the top, just to give it that little bit of a lacy look, you know, to give it some more texture. And I think that looks very pretty with that piece of lace behind it. And like I said, the piece of lace isn't perfect. It's not cut perfect. There's nothing perfect about it. And that is a-okay with me. It doesn't need to be, because there will be something going over the top of it, you know, on these edges. These edges don't matter because they're scalloped and they're beautiful, but the top and the bottom is where I will be adding other stuff to it, and it's going to be just fine. So we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it be just like this. Okay. So what we shall do is, I think what I'm going to do with this is I think I'm going to use some E6000, at least in a few spots. Maybe all along the edge. Actually, I should probably just use this through the whole thing. Well, it doesn't have to be, you know, completely spread out all over the place. It just needs to be on there enough to hold this lace down, because we don't want it to move. And I'm just going to sort of slide it on there. And this is stretchy lace too, so I can actually stretch it to the edges. And if I need to, I can even add a dash of hot glue to hold it in place, because some of these edges are wanting to pull in a little bit. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll put a little bit of hot glue like right there on the edge. Oh, come on. Like that. And then a little bit right in here. Just like that. And then I definitely want to pull these side edges out. I want to get that scallop to the edge. So I am going to stretch that a bit and pull it as close to the edge as I can get it. Hold it down. And that way it's going to look exactly the way I want it to look. See? Got that all the way to the edge. Now we just need to get this side over, and we'll be all set. Just like that. Okay, and I think that looks just fine. Just like that. Look at that. So we have that nice, beautiful piece of lace covering the whole top. Nothing looks out of place or like it doesn't fit or anything. It looks gorgeous. Okay, so next we want to place our tree down. And again, I am going to use E6000 on the back side of this tree to put it down. I want to make sure, because here's the thing, that's going to want to come off of that backing. I am going to also put some E6000 in between the layers on the tree. Let me grab a paper towel real quick so that I can wipe my fingers off. And I'm just going to kind of pull it apart like this. And I'm just putting, you know, in a few spots. It doesn't have to hit every little spot, because once it's in one spot, the E6000 is going to hold this thing down. So it's not that big a deal that you get it every little spot. And I think that is going to do it. I'm going to put the lid on this after I wipe the tube off. Ugh. And then I get stuff all over it. Okay. And I'm going to just press it together. Excuse me. You guys, I hope I'm not getting sick. We had a girl at work She's not been feeling well, and she's been coming in for the last 2 weeks feeling awful. And in fact, the other night she was at work and she was crying, and I told her, you need to go home. You shouldn't be here. You're going to make the rest of us sick, and you need to get better, because she's a student. She's a young girl. She's a student, and she's got school too. And I told her, I said, you need to go home and you need to get better. And now I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not getting sick, because she kept and going into the area where I work, because she was trying to just relax for a minute. And yeah, I'm just afraid now I'm going to end up being sick myself. And I'm just going to take my hot glue, because I am doing sort of this cardboard to the lace, and I think it's going to stick down just fine. I'm going to center this the way I want it, just like that, and press her down. There we go. And I want a little bit of glue under this leaf. It feels like it wants to lift a little too much. And it's just that little leaf all by itself. I've got one on this side too, and I think I'm going to do the same thing. I just put like not even a dot, barely a dot of hot glue under that. We don't want any oozing or anything. So that's what that looks like. Pretty already, right? And these little flowers here are ones that I cut off that were kind of laying on, like around the tree like that, like if they were falling off the tree. So I wanted to cut them out. There was only these 3 that I could find. I thought there was a whole bunch more, but these were the only 3 that I could find. But I want to get these on here as well. So I'm just going to take and dot them with hot glue, and very gently just kind of barely press it in there. Just a little dot. Just a little dot will do ya. There we go. And then one more. Una más. Uh-oh. I think I said that wrong. I think one of the girls at work told me the other day I was saying that wrong. Or was it? Oh, whenever I would say, I was wanting to say, what did you say? I would say, ¿qué? And they said, you know, you're being rude. And I said, what? I'm being rude? I'm just saying what? That's the rude way to say it. And I didn't know that in all these years, my whole life. I've been using that as my what to my Hispanic friends, and nobody ever told me I was saying it wrong until now. I guess they felt comfortable enough to say, Carol, this is how you're supposed to say it. And I can't even remember what they told me to say. But I felt so bad. I'm like, oh, all this time I've been being rude to people? Yep. Yep, they said, you've been rude. Now this, I've got 2 little butterflies here. They're beautiful, beautiful little butterflies that Kerith sent me. And these were in that big case that had so many hearts and stuff. So we're going to use these 2 butterflies here. I want to hold you up for just a second. Need to go get my dog out of here. She's just wandering in, and she will start grabbing all of my supplies. Okay, got her all settled. I just figured I'd get her a treat and make her feel not left so all alone. I wish I had a piece of this to put all the way around this edge. I think it would be so pretty, but this is the only little piece I have of this trim. But I do think it would be pretty on there, wouldn't it? Oh well. No sense crying over spilled milk. Another thing I could do, I'm trying to determine exactly how I want to do this edge. I've got a string of these little pearls. I've got a longer piece, but I just grabbed this one because it was sitting here. And that would be pretty around the edge. And I kind of do like that it's white. Actually, the other ones that I have, the bigger strand, is this one. And these are actually clear beads. But that looks really pretty too. They almost have an AB look to them. I think they are AB. So that would be pretty to put around the edge if I can get it on straight. Now the other thing that might even be better, but I am going to be putting some rhinestones on, but the rhinestones that I'm putting on are only going to be at the bottom. So this is rhinestone trim that I have that would be really beautiful if I can get it on there straight. That's my only fear, is not being able to get these on there so that, you know, sometimes when people put rhinestones on, they're all cockeyed. I don't want that to happen on this. I want it to be as close to perfect as I can get it, because I'm going to keep it and I want to, you know, if I was going to sell it, I would want that too. So, but this one is not being sold. It's going to go in my shadow box. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to do it with the E6000, and once I get the E6000 on there, I can place this and really, you know, set it down and get it right, I think. I don't think I'll have too much trouble with that. So I think I might use that around the edge of the lace. What I do need to do, I can see here, is I do have a couple of spots where it's sort of hanging over. So I want to get these little bits off. And that way I can follow my lines a little bit better that way too. I don't know why, but I feel like I need to check on my puppy again. It sounded like I just heard her jump up onto the table in the kitchen, and I have got a bunch of my stuff out on the kitchen table right now because I was working on cutting up some tags and things out there this morning. I was trying to stay with the dog but yet work at the same time. She's just, you guys, my dog is so filled with anxiety, it's insane. She's been that way since day one, and we just haven't been able to cure her of it yet. She's getting better. She is absolutely getting better. She's learning, but she just still has her moments where she just can't control herself. So, and she forgets. She's a puppy. She's still a puppy. So we have to give her that. I'm sort of cutting off a bit of these scallops, but I feel like I need to cut this right at the edge here to keep it looking right. And the scallops are gonna kind of be covered anyway, so it's not a big deal. The other thing I could do is I do have some other trims. I've got, let's see, where did I put that? I saw some back here. Yeah, I've got this other trim that's really pretty, and I have yet to really use it on much. And it's so pretty. I've got this, and this would work really nicely around the edge as well. And it would cover up any imperfections down there. And I can still leave it to hang over a little bit so it doesn't have to go completely on top of the piece. So that would work out well. So I'll keep that out just in case. I would love to have something really, really thin, but a lace or something, but I just don't have anything. I do like this ruffle. I've got this ruffle, but I do like this lacy ruffle. And that might be prettier than the other ruffle. And this is just a small ruffle. It's not super, super, super ruffly. And I kind of like that about this. So I may just go ahead and use this around the edge here. And then this is going to go to the bottom. So the way it's going to work is we're going to take this and go around the bottom like this, and we'll get it all going right. And then this going around here, and you'll just kind of see that peeking out the bottom. You'll be able to see it. It will look very pretty. I know right now you're probably going, what? You're covering up that pink lace. It doesn't. You can see it through the through this. And you'll see it better through this than you will this. So that's kind of why I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to go with this and make the executive decision. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start gluing this on. Make sure I've got it the right way. And so I'm just going to I'm going to go with the hot glue because we're going fabric to fabric here. So, and this is Gorilla Hot Glue. My favorite when I'm doing stuff like this because it really does hold well. The only thing about Gorilla Hot Glue is you do get strings, but we all know we can get rid of those strings. A little blow dryer and you're good to go. So blow dryer or your heat gun if you have one. I have a heat gun that my friend Kim sent me a long while back. And man, that thing's awesome. I don't use it on camera much because it's very loud. So it does make quite a bit of noise. And so I prefer to just kind of put you guys on hold for a second while I use it. But it's awesome. I don't know where I have it right at this moment, or I would show you guys. I'm sure you've seen them, especially if any of you are starting to do like some of the resin stuff. A lot of the resin crafters use heat guns to get the bubbles out of their projects. Oh, I didn't glue these down, did I? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. I couldn't remember if I had glued those little flowers down. And we're going to take this a little bit slow because I don't want to rush through placing this lace. I want it on there just so. So we're just going to take our time and get it right. You guys know, I know you guys, some of my videos are quite long, but I hear from a lot of you that you're okay with that. So, and I know I do hear from people who are not okay with that. And for you, I am sorry, but if you want to go ahead and fast forward through this part, go right ahead and move on to the next section. Okay, so I won't feel too bad. I want to cut this so that these two edges meet, but I don't want to make it super thick in one section where you can't see through it. So we're gonna just have a tiny little overlap right here. And I'm going to glue these two pieces together. Just using a tiny little dot of glue. And press those together just like that. Okay, so there's that. And see if I had... I want to make sure I'm not going to have those spots in the corners like here where it's too tight, but I can adjust that a little bit. Pull it a little more this way. And that way it won't stick up. These sides are perfect. They're fine. They're not going to do that. It's just the places where you're going around a corner. You want to be careful not to do those corners too tight, because then you'll end up with lace that doesn't look good. But this looks very good. This is perfect. I got it a little tight at first, but I was able to kind of stretch it and pull it back this way. So we're good. Look at how nicely that lays. So next, oh, let me hold this a little closer for you guys. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Ah, I'm so excited. I don't want to lose these butterflies. These butterflies are integral to the whole project. Integral, however you want to say it. Now this, I gotta see. I think this is going to go to the back behind the lace, I think. I think. Part of me is wondering if I'm using this, am I going too far? Am I doing something that I shouldn't do? Because this is going to have to go like pretty much on the back side in order for me to get it right. And so I need to really look at it one last time and make sure that that's what I want to do before I start gluing this all on there and then I feel like I've made a huge mistake. And I will have to ruffle it up a little bit in a couple of places in the corners here so that it sits straight out, because we want to be able to see it. If we're going to put it there, we're going to see it. But I do want it flat, to lay flat behind the other lace. It's just impossible for me to get this all flat all the way around, because I have to lift it up, and then I lift it up off of other spots that I've already done. So it's just the nature of the beast. I have someone that I work with, and I think I drive her crazy because I always come up with my little, things that people have always said through time, about different things like the nature of the beast and that kind of thing. And she hates when people use those analogies to describe something, and she's always correcting me, and I'm like, stop. It's okay. But it bothers her, so I try not to do it when I'm with her, just because I don't say it to bother her. I just say it because it's a natural reaction for me. I've always done it. I was taught all these little sayings and things, and it just comes out of me. Okay. Let me lay this little piece down and that one down. And it's not laying under there perfectly, but that's okay. It's as good as I'm going to get it for now. And I'm just looking to see how am I going to see that. And I think that looks really, really cool behind that. So we're definitely going to do this. So the next thing we need to do is we need to flip this guy over, and you'll see this doesn't have a hanger on it yet. And I don't think I'm going to put one on it because I think I'm going to end up gluing it to the backboard of the shadow box. So I don't want any lumpy or bumpy anything on the back of this. So this is the top, this is the bottom. So we're going to take this, and I got to make sure I do this the right way. We want the good side to face down. This is the good side. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to start carefully gluing this down. And of course the roses on this, some of them are going to be glued down, you guys. That's okay. No big deal. I mean, all of them are going to be glued down, I should say. Not some, all. And I'm going to take some parts of it, and I'm going to push them in a little bit so that I can make this thing lay flat. So I'm going to try and pay real close attention to how I'm gluing this on. So we're going to do kind of smaller sections, you guys. And yeah, that's going to make it a little lumpy and bumpy on the back, but that's okay. If it has to be, it has to be. I wasn't even thinking about that. But that's okay. I'm not worried about it. It will still, I'll still be able to glue it down to the shadow box, and it will look just fine. Okay. So scrunching this together is how I'm going to get this to lay out so that it doesn't bow or, you know, sit funny. So you can see these are still sitting out. And around these corners, I just have to take my time and do smaller bits at a time and be patient. Because if I'm not patient, I'm going to ruin it. And under here, I'll get another little dollop of glue there. Pull that out a bit. Make sure you're paying attention to how far in you're going if you're going to put a lace like this on the back. Pay attention to how far in you're going with it so that you're not completely covering up all of those roses that you do want to see from the front side. You definitely want to be able to see those roses, and I'm trying to get them as close to the edge as I can. And this piece, I need a little more glue right there. And we're going to hold that down a little bit. Okay. So this section is pretty straight, so we don't need to do much of anything there. We can leave the lace going straight. And here's where we're going to have to start scrunching it again because we're at another corner. So I'm going to pop the glue down, push it together. And we have little sections of thinner lace between the roses here. And that's where you can crunch it together from. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to get some of this glue off of my hands as I go so I don't end up with piles and piles of glue that look really disgusting on my nails. Or on my hands altogether, I should say. Not just my nails. The nails I can work on later, getting it off of them, but my hands, the longer it sits there, the worse it gets, and then you end up with just big balls all over the place. And I don't think you guys want to look at that. Looks like my hands are peeling. Oops, I dropped my glue gun. It's going to have to stay down for a minute. Okay. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Just like that. So these look like they're holding out pretty well. They're kind of falling that way because of the way this is sitting. So the rest of this is good. And I'm going to cut this right there. Okay. I do like that with the Gorilla Glue, I can, just rolling my fingers together, I can get that glue off fairly easily. But yet on my projects, it sticks really, really well. So there we go. You can see the pink in behind this lace. It's very faint, but that's okay. That's kind of what I'm looking for, you guys. I don't want real heavy pinks and stuff. And you guys probably can see it less than I can. I can see it. So that's what that looks like behind there. And I can see it back there. And in fact, when I hold it up like by the light or with white behind it, I can really see it. So I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I can find something. I don't know. This is not really white. No, not light enough. Gosh, you guys. Let's see. Here's a white piece of paper, and that probably helps somewhat. But you can see the flowers back behind it. Trust me on this one, you guys. It looks really, really nice. And I would tell you if you couldn't see it. It looks very, very nice. I'm super happy with the way this is turning out. This is just such a cool project for me. I am so excited about it. And I can't wait to get it done. Now this, I probably should have done this before this ruffly lace, but that's okay. I can, let's see, set something on top of that to hold it down a little bit while I do this. We're going to start at this corner right here, and we're going to go up to the corner on the other side right there. So right here and right here. And that's where we're going to put this beautiful, beautiful dangle. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to use, now we need to use our E6000. So we're just going to take this and start at our corner right there. Maybe a little bit above the corner there. And I'm going to go all the way around to that same point on the other side, and I'm putting plenty of E6000 on there so that this is going to stick down and it's going to stay down. Now the only thing is I have to be careful because this is at a slant, a downward slant. So this might be slippery for a minute or two before the E6000 starts to harden up a little bit and set. So I'm going to have to keep my hands on this and keep holding it up until it is setting enough that it's not going to move. Now normally I would like to resin this on as well. I would take and put, like on some of my other projects, I'll take and I'll put the E6000 on, and then I'll also put resin after the E6000 dries. Okay, let me get this off of here, and where's my lid? Okay, and this side I need a little bit more up here. There we go. And I'm just going to keep pushing it up there, right up to that edge. And that way it's all going to sit exactly where it's supposed to be. It's going to have a straight corner if there is such a thing. You know what I mean. My corners are going to be good corners, because it's right up against where that lip is on the plaque. So it's got something to sit up against, and I have something to push it up against right here so that I can keep it straight the way I want it. And so everything's going to hang nicely. It's going to have that perfect shape. And you can see already the E6000 has started to set up a little bit. So I'll tell you what, guys, I am going to step away from this for a minute, and I'm going to let that dry a little bit. And I don't even have to worry now about it slipping and falling. It's in place. Well, it might still a little bit. I think I'm going to have to stay here and babysit it for a minute. But after, 3-4 minutes, I don't have to babysit it anymore. It will just sit here and it will do its own drying. So, but I'm not going to pick this up and show you guys yet. And then what we're going to do, in fact, I'll just go ahead and I'll do this now so that they can both be drying at the same time. I want this piece just at the very bottom here. And I got to cut this edge off. And this one, I have one extra rhinestone, so we're going to cut this right there. Okay, and then I'm going to put my E6000. Let's see, I need to make sure I know exactly where this needs to be. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 pearls. So this one's going to go in the middle, and then this is going to go to this side, and this is going to go to this side. And then each side has a little dangle at the end. So I'm going to, while I've got this sitting here, I'm going to start my E6000 there, and I'm just going to make a nice line of that going all along here and go up to the same point on this side. We're here. I think I need just a dot more. And we'll put the center pearl right there. And look at that. I got that right in the right spot. Wow, that was pretty good. I wasn't too worried. I'm usually pretty good at judging things like that. This side needs a little bit more glue right there. It didn't get enough, and it kind of went right through that lace. Okay, so now we're going to roll it up so that it's pointing directly up. We don't want it pointing down because then we ruin the whole effect. So make sure your rhinestones are pointing up towards your face. And I am standing up while I'm doing this, you guys, and a lot of times that's the best way to do this, is standing up so that you're looking straight down on your project and you can see exactly what it looks like from the front. Okay, and you have a little time to play with these. So you can see this one, the lace is a little more flexible, so I'm going to have to play with it a bit to make sure I get it exactly where it needs to be and get it lined up and get it sort of circular. I want it to be clean. I want it to have a nice clean look. And I have these cute little bows. I'm not sure I'm going to use them or what yet, but I was thinking maybe they would be cute, kind of sitting at the edges of those. Nah, those are kind of too big-ish. And I'm going to get, while I'm at it, I'm going to get these butterflies on here before I end up losing them. Like I just lost that one. I can't even see it. Okay. So I think this one's going right there. And this one, I wonder if I should just put them both in the tree. Maybe I'll put that one down and that one up. What do you think, you guys? Or should I put one like down here and one up here on the tree? Ah, I can't decide. I mean, they both look really cute on the tree. And you can actually see them. I was worried they would get lost in the tree, but they don't. They're actually nicely visible. That looks really pretty. Let me just touch this up a little bit more and then I'll pull this up and show you guys. In fact, maybe I can get you in just a tad bit more. But that's what that looks like. And you can see, I don't know, you guys maybe can't see these as well as I can, but you really can see these butterflies real well in the tree. They're super cute. Now, the other thing that I was thinking originally, here's what I was going to do. I was going to put one there and one, I think I was going to put it right there. And that's how I was going to do it initially. But I just think I kind of like them both in the tree. So maybe we'll do it like that. Yeah, I like that. That's what we're going to do, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some E6000 on the backs. We're going to put one there. And one there. We're going to put it almost like it's coming out of the tree. And close up our E6000. Don't leave your E6000 tube open, you guys, because it will dry out really, really fast. you can see how quickly it sets up on these projects. So just know that it will dry out very fast if you leave it open. You can unclog it, you can open it up, because just the tip is going to dry out. Once that gets dry, the inside is going to stay fine. It's still usable, but you waste a lot by doing that. Oh yeah, that's going to be gorgeous, you guys. And then what I was thinking, here's our other trim. I can take this and go around the rest of this like that. Of course, this isn't going to be straight right now, you guys, so just imagine it being straight. It's impossible when it doesn't have anything to grip to. So we'll put that around there, and I think that will look really, really pretty. I'm looking at it. The only thing I'm afraid of is that I'm going to end up making it too busy. I don't want it to be too busy and lose sight of what's going on in the tree and all of that. Let's see. What do I think? What do I think? It does look pretty. It does look very pretty. I don't know. I kind of feel like it looks really nice with the rhinestones going around it, and it just kind of finishes this off. The other thing I was considering doing is I was going to use these two pieces here, and I was going to put one at the top and one at the bottom, but now I've got that beautiful rhinestone trim. I don't want to do that. What I could do is I could take it and kind of go over two corners with it, but then again, I'm covering up the tree a little bit, but that's kind of okay. I'm not covering much of the tree there, and it actually looks kind of pretty, I think. Or, let's see, look at this. I was planning on using this, but I think it's way too big. But look at that gorgeousness. Oh my God, that's so pretty. So pretty. This I could use. I could put this down at the bottom, but I am covering up part of the trunk by using that. So I really don't want to do that. So the other thing is I've got this. This might be even better. I wonder. Let's see. If I take this, start it right there. I was just checking to see if I was on the right side. It wouldn't have mattered for this purpose. I'd have still left it that way just to look at it, but I do want to make sure when I put this on, if I put it on, that I put it in the right direction. Oh, now that looks gorgeous. Oh my word, that is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's what we're going to do. We're definitely going to use that on the top because it really, really, really does look gorgeous, you guys. So we're going to trim this right there. And I still have a little piece of this left. I don't think I would want to add any at the bottom. No. I still want this to show up at the bottom here. But what I can do at the end of all of this is I can put a couple of flowers down here, or I will come up with something. Where's my white one? I had just a plain white flower here earlier. Of course, I've moved everything around now, so I've got this flower, and that's pretty, but there again, can only do one side with that, so that's kind of pretty. I'm going to keep that out just in case. All right, I'll be right back, you guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue this on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's about center. Okay, we're going to glue this part on. Find our little center point there. And carefully get it going again around the corner here. Hopefully I'm not sticking my head in the camera, you guys. I'm sorry if I am. I hate when I do that. I see my head and I go, oh my gosh. I usually will try and cut it out, but sometimes I forget. Just trying to poke that up under the flowers on the tree. And this is just a little cherry blossom tree, I think is what it is. Isn't it cute? I love it so much. I just saw that tree and I thought, oh my gosh, it can't just sit and have nobody see it but me. It has to be seen by the world. So anybody that's going to see my shadow box is going to see this beautiful little cherry blossom tree and the beautiful poem that goes along with it. Kerith, I can't thank you enough for that. You are just so thoughtful. And I love, love, love getting my poems. Every time she sends me something, I get a poem, and I just love it. I think that is the coolest thing. I mean, wouldn't everybody just love to get that with, you know, a package when you get it from somebody who's written their own special words, and it just makes me feel honored that she thinks enough of me to do that. And that can just come right off of there because it doesn't belong. Okay, so that's on the top, and I decided I'm going to use these right over here off to the sides because they're not too crazy, not too colorful, and I think they kind of go perfect with this, and yet they cover what I don't want to particularly show so much. So I'm going to take this little bit, which is really just the edges of this rhinestone chain. I just don't want the edge to just show and have nothing to finish it off. And I'm sure I could have found something, you know, but I was looking at rhinestones and stuff, and I just thought, you know, it just felt like everything was too busy. So this was what I chose, and I like it. It's just got that one little rhinestone in the center there, and I think it looks really, really, really pretty. So that is that. Now, really, the only thing we have left to do, look at this. Look at this, you guys. It's so gorgeous. I am going to take and I am going to resin over part of this tree, and I am going to add some glass glitter. So I do want that in there. I do. So I'm going to take my Floracraft Diamond Dust. This is what I always use. I'm going to get my resin brush, and it's still wet because I was using it already. I'm going to get my little mold here, and I'm going to squeeze. Let me see which bottle has, I think it's this one. I don't know how much resin is still in this bottle, probably not a lot. I've been making so much, you guys. So much. I made another bumblebee tin because a very dear friend of mine requested one, and I couldn't say no. I've actually been making a few custom pieces. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to get something off of me. So this is her bumblebee tin. It's a little different than the other one. The bumblebee is a little different, but everything matches so beautifully. And it's got glass glitter on it, and it's just beautiful. So Melba, that's your tin. It's all done. I finished it this morning. Now the only thing I'm waiting on is for Jeff to get the hanger put on the back of your cross that you bought, and that will be done too. So then I'll have your whole order completed and ready to go. So we're just gonna nicely add some glass glitter around on this. And I want a decent amount to have it. Why not, right? And I think it also protects the flowers a little bit more since they are paper. And it will be in a shadow box, so it will be protected, but I still kind of feel like I like to have just that added little bit of protection. Makes me worry less about, you know, something happening to it or what have you. So, and the resin just gives it a little bit more strength. And I'm getting some up behind on the pink part of the tree too. Just up in here, we'll just dot it here and there. I just know I'm going to just fall in love with this, and I'm going to hope for more beautiful cards like this one. Especially, I especially love these 3D cards. They are so beautiful, you guys. They have the most beautiful cards these days, but boy, are they expensive. Wow. I always want to buy them, but I don't buy them very often just because they're so expensive. but I want to. Every time I see one, I have seen some of the most beautiful cards. Every time I see them, I want to buy them. But I do hold back. Oh, look at this one's hidden. Darn. There we go. Okay, but I always hold back because they're just so expensive. And I'm always afraid that I won't get to them and they'll be ruined before I can ever do a project on them. Well, this one, I wasn't waiting. I wanted to do this like the moment I saw the card, honestly. I knew I had to do something with it, but at that time I was just trying to decide, would Kerith be okay with this or wouldn't she? And I didn't even ask her, so Kerith, I'm sorry I didn't ask in advance, but I hope you're okay with it. Okay, I'm just taking a little drink of my coffee here, guys. And here we go. I've got had my little spoons over here, and I guess I don't know where I put them. I have some of the cutest little wooden spoons for my glass glitter, and I just had them in my hand yesterday, and I don't know what I did with them. I put them somewhere. I'm sure they're probably in one of these boxes that I have my tools and things sitting in over here, but I don't know which one. And it could take me a while to find them, so I need to just let go of it. I'm just going to go ahead and grab with my fingers. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to start sprinkling diamond dust everywhere. Trying to take kind of thin little bits of it because I'm trying to avoid getting any clumps that might be in there. I don't want those in there. But I do want to make sure I don't miss any spaces that I've put the resin on. I want it all to be sparkly. I need to get some on these little ones over here. Okay, and I'm just going to do a big dump of it right there. Okay. I'm going to do a little tap tap, just a little bit. I don't think I have to worry about this too much. Okay. And I'm going to place this right under my UV lamp. And it fits under there very nicely. I'm going to put that under there for 90 seconds and then I will come back when I get it out. Oh shoot, you guys, you're not going to believe what I did. Look at what I did. I did take it out. I got the glass glitter is all on there. I tapped it, got all the loose stuff out of there. And then I grabbed two of my little lace leaves that Robin sent me. Let me pull those out real quick. Because I was having a hard time trying to figure out what to put up here at the top, because when I realized, hey, this is not going to hang on a wall. It's going to go in something, so I don't need to have a hanger. So what I did was I grabbed these little lace sequined leaves. So pretty. I love these. She gets these on Temu. And I put one on each side, and then I had also this piece that came off of some rhinestone trim that Robin had sent me, and I just popped that in the center. I didn't want anything too busy because everything I was popping up there, you know, if I put a flower there, it was like, meh, it didn't look right. I put this little bird up there. That didn't look right. Now that might be cute kind of up over here in the tree somewhere, you know, but yeah, I still don't want it there. These are cute little birds. Robin gave me these. I've got to start finding a place to use them. I tried this. I was going to put that in there. It was just too much. And then, of course, I had, you know, a bunch of other things that I was testing, and nothing just felt good until I found that and these leaves, and I was like, okay, there it is. So I knew I would find something sooner or later, but it just took me some time. And then, silly me, I went ahead and glued the leaves on, and then E6000 is what I used to put this on with. So that's all I did outside of the camera, you guys, just those two things. The rest of it you saw. Let me see. I want to try and get something that I can set this on so that you can get a good view of what it looks like finished. Hold on a second, you guys. I'm going to get a piece of white cardstock paper that I have on the other side of my crafting table here. I'll grab two pieces and make it a little bit thicker. Okay, and I'm just gonna put that right on top of there. I want you guys to be able to see those beautiful hanging rhinestones and everything. Look at that, you guys. It came out so gorgeous, and I just had to have you guys along for the ride on this one because I knew it was going to turn out really, really pretty. And you really can see the pink flowers behind the lace here. They're not like super pronounced or anything, but you can still see them. And I do love this scallop lace popping out behind the ruffled lace. So even if you couldn't see the pink flowers at all, I would be okay with it because I love the way these pop out here and provide those little scallops that you see there. But you really, really, truly can see the flowers. You can see they're under there, and you can see them through the lace. It's just hard on the camera. You don't see it as well. But look at how pretty that glass glitter turned out on that tree. So anyways, you guys, I love, love, love a lot of aspects of this. I love that I found this dangle trim, this dangle rhinestone trim. It looks so amazing with this. And wow, it came out so beautiful. And so I'm glad I found that and used it. I've got it, you know, showing. It shows all the way around down here at the bottom. So it comes right through that lace because it peekaboos behind each of those scallops too. So yeah, so it looks really, really pretty. But I wanted you guys to see it with all those pretty dangles coming out there. And when it gets into the shadow box, it will, you know, the box will be hanging, so those dangles are going to show up really, really nicely once it is in the box. So I'm super excited about this, you guys. I hope you liked this tutorial. Again, this one's not going to be available in my Etsy shop because I am keeping this myself. It's going to go with the poem, and it's going to go with the other side of the card where she wrote me my note, and maybe a little something else that she has sent my way. But anyway, thank you so much, Kerith, for all of the great things that you gave me that went into this, especially the tree and the butterflies. And let's see, you gave me this trim. And there may have even been something else in here that you gave me at another time. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is it, you guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please stay safe, stay well. Love your family. Hug them, squeeze them often. Tell them you love them all the time if you can. And be amazing, because each and every one of you are amazing. And just know that and keep believing it, because you are. And God bless each and every one of you. I look forward to doing the next video, and I wish you all nothing but the best. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget my giveaway. Well, I'll talk about that. I talked about that at the beginning, so we're good there. But don't forget about the giveaway. It's going to be coming up on, the video is going to be coming up. So that'll be actually before this video, but then I just want to make sure I'm putting out reminders to you. I haven't put that video out yet because it's not Saturday yet, but that's when it is going out. So anyway, thanks a lot, you guys. God bless you all. Take care. Be blessed. Bye-bye.